I never believed much in fate. I thought life was just a chain of coincidences, some pleasant, some cruel, but never something as poetic as destiny. That belief held strong until the summer I flew to Lisbon and found myself face to face with the one person I'd been trying not to think about for years. Her name was Emily, and if life had a sense of humor, it was a dark one. Neither of us planned to be there. We had chosen Lisbon for different reasons, at different times, from different corners of the world. Yet somehow, fate, or maybe just the strange alignment of human decisions, put us on a collision course thousands of miles away from where we first met. We first crossed paths 3 years ago at a photography workshop in Edinburgh. We weren't exactly friends, more like two people who kept noticing each other. She had that calm confidence that made everything she did seem deliberate. Her laugh was quiet, but it lingered in your head. I was there mostly because I just ended a long relationship and needed something new to fill the space. She, as I later found out, had just started dating someone. So our timing was like two trains passing in opposite directions. We talked, we clicked, and then we left. No numbers exchanged, no promises made. Life moved on. I worked, dated, traveled, but every so often I'd think about her. Not because she'd said anything profound, but because something about her felt unfinished. Then one day, I booked a last-minute ticket to Portugal. I needed a reset. I landed in Lisbon, rented a small room near Alfama, and decided for once not to check my email. On my second day, I wandered into a cafe covered in postcards and Polaroids. I ordered coffee, pulled out my notebook, and that's when I heard someone say my name. Daniel. I turned and there she was, Emily. Same eyes, same warmth. Only now her hair was shorter and her smile softer. I just stared. She laughed awkwardly and said, "Of all the cafes in Lisbon." We ended up sitting together for hours, talking like we were catching up on a story we'd both forgotten we were part of. She was traveling alone, she said. After quitting a draining job, she wanted to rediscover who she was. I told her I was there for similar reasons. We walked out of the cafe and kept wandering until the sky turned pink. 2 days later, I got a message from an old university friend, Alex, who lived in Lisbon. He invited me to a small dinner at his apartment. Just a few friends, good food, cheap wine, he said. I agreed. When I arrived, Emily was there too. She looked as surprised as I was. Alex grinned and said, "Oh great. You guys know each other already." As it turned out, Emily and Alex had met months earlier through a language exchange group. During dinner, Alex started telling stories about his time in Scotland. There was this one guy who almost set a light reflector on fire trying to get a dramatic shot. Emily and I looked at each other and burst out laughing. It was me, of course. Alex stared, confused, then laughed too. "Small world," he said. That night something shifted. We walked home together through quiet streets. When we reached her door, she looked up and said, "This feels strange, doesn't it? Like we were supposed to meet again." I didn't answer. I just kissed her. What followed were days that felt like sunlight stitched to laughter. We'd explore the city, share pastries, sit by the river, talk about everything and nothing. She told me about her breakup, about almost moving abroad with her ex. I told her about chasing success and ending up empty. We found comfort in our honesty, in the quiet understanding that we were both healing. But fate, as always, had a twist ready. One afternoon Alex called. "Hey Daniel," he said slowly. "You and Emily have been hanging out a lot, right?" I laughed. "Yeah, why?" He hesitated. "She never told you, did she?" "Told me what?" He sighed. "Her ex, the guy she left before coming here. That's my brother." The silence that followed was like a cut. I couldn't process it. "Wait, what?" "I didn't want to tell you," he said, "but I thought you should know. He's been a mess since she left." I hung up and sat there for hours. Everything felt unreal. When Emily came over that evening, she saw my face. "What happened?" I looked at her. "Why didn't you tell me your ex is Alex's brother?" Her eyes widened. "I didn't know you two were friends," she whispered. "When you mentioned Alex, I didn't connect it. I wasn't hiding it. You weren't trying to hide it," I said bitterly. That's not a small detail. She reached for me. I left him because he wasn't who I thought he was. It ended badly. I didn't want that part of my life to define this. Her voice trembled, but I couldn't decide what to feel. I left without saying goodbye. That night I walked through the city until the lights blurred. I ended up sitting by the river until dawn, watching the sun rise over the Tagus, feeling like I'd stumbled into some cruel joke. The next day, Alex texted. "She didn't lie to hurt you, man. She really didn't." I didn't reply. Later there was a knock on my door. Emily stood there with a small box. "I was going to give you this later," she said. Inside was an old Polaroid, the group photo from that workshop in Edinburgh. We were both in it, standing on opposite sides of the frame, smiling at something off camera. "I kept this," she said. "Even back then you felt like someone I'd meet again. I just didn't think it would be like this." She stepped closer, eyes wet. "I never wanted to hurt anyone. I just wanted something real." I looked at her for a long time, and something in me softened. Life was messy. Maybe love wasn't about avoiding the mess. It was about choosing someone even when things got complicated. We didn't fix everything that night. We talked for hours about her ex, about Alex, about how unfair fate can be. By the time the city went quiet, we knew we weren't ready to walk away. Months passed. I extended my stay in Lisbon. Emily and I rebuilt slowly, learning to trust again. We met Alex for dinner one night. Awkward at first, then easier. He finally laughed and said, "You two are ridiculous. Maybe this was meant to happen." Years later, when people ask how we met, we never quite know where to start. Was it at that workshop? In the cafe? Through a mutual friend's strange coincidence? Maybe it doesn't matter. Because sometimes life throws you into chaos not to break you but to make you pay attention, to see how beautifully unpredictable it all is. And sometimes the people meant for you don't just cross your path once, they find their way back again and again, until you finally understand that it was never an accident.